In my last video, I took a look at how ME affects children as opposed to adults. The kids had wonderful things to say and seemed very informed as to the effect in general. This got me thinking, and I decided to run the questions that I'd asked the kids by a group of adults. Adults often seem to act oddly towards any line of ME questioning. I asked the following questions that I had previously asked the kids. How old are you? Have you heard of the Mandela Effect? Where did you hear about it? Do you believe in the Mandela Effect? What do you think it is? And how does it make you feel? Here are their answers. How old are you?
34.
Have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
Yes. I've heard of the Mandela Effect from my friend.
Do you believe in the Mandela Effect?
Start over.
Okay, so how old are you?
I am 38 years old.
Have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
Yep, I've heard of the Mandela Effect.
Where did you hear about it from?
I don't remember.
Did you experience like any changes?
In my reality, I did it.
Did you experience any changes or anything?
Yeah. I think it started with like the Berensteins Bears thing. I think that's what started for me. And then certain lines and things like that in movies, they're like different than I remembered, so I was like, that's weird.
Like, what about like the bigger things like Tiananmen Square or the JFK car? Do you remember?
Oh, right,
all
right.
that kind of, or what about the anatomy? All of those.
That was after I started looking into it, but like before I had heard about it, you know, it was like, oh, that's weird. I don't remember, you know, Berenstein. Like, there's lines in movies that I thought were different, you know, things like that. But after I knew what the Mandela Effect was and started, like, looking at the other stuff, yeah, like, the Tiananmen Square thing was the one that was really, like, whoa, that's not how I remember it happening at all, you know?
You seem to, like, have just kind of moved on past it, though, or you don't seem to be interested in it anymore? Where do you stand on it now?
There's still stuff that, you know, weirds me out about it, but I'm kind of like resigned to, you know, either one, I can't trust my own memories, or there's things beyond my own control that you know, there's like no way for me to do anything about. But yeah, like, I just have a resignation that, like, there's nothing I can do to change it. You know what I mean?
What do you think it is?
Just with the research I did do and, like, looking into CERN and stuff like that, like, you know, I definitely think that it's got to have something to do with it, and, like, with, you know, the limited amount of, like, quantum computing stuff that I've looked up and things like that. Like, it's some kind of, you know, something to do with, like, the Hadron Collider and, like, the black hole experiments and things like that. I mean, that's just like in my opinion, the fact that, you know, like, I think it's like an accidental, like, side effect of people fucking around with, like, black holes and things like that. I don't think, like, people can't keep secrets like that. So I mean, I think it's just like a, you know, one of those things where, like, scientists were just like, hey, let's do this because we can, and, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, and then this is kind of a consequence of that.
And how does it make you feel?
Well, like I said before, you know, when I first, like, was really affected by it, I was really depressed, just because it meant either, like I can't trust my own memories at all, or there's like this vast unraveling of reality that's beyond my control. So
How old are you?
I am 40 years old.
Have you ever heard of the Mandela Effect?
I have heard of the Mandela Effect.
Where did you hear about it?
I've heard about the Mandela Effect in several things, such as, what is that guy that's on the radio a lot? He's on FM and sometimes he's on the AM channel. Art Bell, he used to talk about the Mandela Effect. Read about the Mandela Effect several times in books, on radio stations, and from other associates and fellow people that I hang out with. I do believe in the Mandela Effect. Yours is.
Okay. What do you think the Mandela Effect is?
I know it has something to do with the government and the corruption of the government towards, I can't describe it, but I know it has something to do with the government that's going to affect the way people live in society and people as a whole.
What do you think is causing? How do you think they're doing it?
I think they're doing the Mandela Effect secretly. I don't think it is made publicly yet. I still think they want it done under the hush-hush, under the radar of everybody else, so they have no idea what is happening until the big effect happens.
How does it make you feel?
Really kind of uncomfortable about the whole situation, because I know what it is. A lot of people know what it is, but the part that makes it really uncomfortable is the people that don't know what it is, and then when it happens, they're going to be scared shitless.
As opposed to the children interviewed, adults' answers seemed to be very vague. They either understood the effect and did not care, or they had a very underdeveloped understanding of ME in general, although they claimed to know what it was. They often appeared to not fully understand the questions being asked, and their answers were roadblocks to any kind of future learning. Completing this short comparison, it's clear to me that the odd behavior exhibited by people tends to occur more often in adults. In doing this short experiment, I looked at only a tiny handful of people. I encourage those experiencing ME to continue to ask questions and run your own such experiments. The more information that we have, the more accurate our conclusions can be. It's become unarguably clear to me that most ME experiencers are having trouble dealing with the odd behaviors of those that are close to them. My hope in encouraging ongoing conversation with non-believers is to try to narrow down this effect on them and what may be causing it. We're receiving answers every day through synchronicities. When we pay attention to everything in our surroundings, we may find answers to questions that we were unsure we even had. This is searching, this is seeking, and seeking brings truth. Don't give up. We are here. You are heard. You are not alone.